I often speak and teach when I'm preaching or doing a conference or whatever. I'm oftentimes telling the church that we have got to start telling our stories again. So many of us have gone into hiding. God has brought us through a whole bunch of junk, and not just like one thing. There's countless ways in which God has met us in our lives. That may be through a food issue, an addiction issue. That may be through a substance abuse thing. That may be through something sexual. That may be through being an adrenaline junkie or a workaholic. I mean, the lists are endless. And honestly, most of us don't have a thing. We have a cluster of things that the Lord has done at different times in our lives. And we need to really be more willing to give God our stories and say, Lord, this isn't just my story. More importantly, it's your story worked out through my life. And if you want to use it for people in my church, you want to use it for people who I come in contact with, God, I'm willing for you to break that open. As much as I might feel some levels of shame or pride or fear about revealing these things, God, I'm willing to obey you and breaking these things open. And by the way, not window dressing our story so much that our story becomes completely irrelevant. We need to be specific without oversharing. Nobody needs to know the details of the crap that we've, been involved in, but we can name certain things that make it clear where we've been. And I think it's as we do that, there's three things that happen that we wind up getting a little bit more free when we share our story. Also, we give God glory for being willing to roll up his sleeves and get into the mess and the muck and the mire with us and draw us out of those places. That does give him glory for the kind of God that he is, unlike any other. And also, it gives other people hope. People need to know that where God met us, people need to hear story after story after story because they're there of where God intervened in our lives and brought freedom and put us on a new path that leads toward an eternal perspective and a deep sense of belonging within the family of God. But if we don't open up our mouths, or we just window dress and try to minimize our sin because, again, we feel uncomfortable with it or whatever, we actually are robbing people of hope. We're robbing God of his glory, and we're robbing ourselves of greater freedom. All of those individually are good reasons to tell our story. And certainly when you combine all three of those together, we absolutely need to be tenacious about telling our stories as God is leading us to do that.